What's up YouTube, this is Machina Gadget. Today I'm bringing you another new format deck profile for a deck that I said somewhere that I wouldn't, and that's gadgets. But to be honest, they have hit quite a bit of the back row deck ran, so I thought I might as well go over some of my changes. The deck's still extremely potent, and it's probably one of the best snowball advantage decks in the game now. So yeah, let's get straight into the deck. Start off, fairly obvious, 2 of each gadget, 3 really clogs and just gets in the way, and Konami have said no to the offering build, so 2 of each. Then, has great synergy with the deck, Tin Goldfish. For those of you who don't know, what this card does is when it's normal summoned, you can special summon a level 4 monster from your hand. And obviously gadgets work with being special summoned as well. So go this gadget, search Gigant, search another goldfish because it's machine, and you've basically made a free Xyz. It's also water, so it's really nice to put under a wrist well, which is important. For the Machina engine, 3 gear frame, 2 fortress, and 1 cannon. Sort of fairly standard. Then 2 trag. I know some people are going to comment saying her evil swarms are still a deck, but it's great against everything else and allows you to go into both rank 4s and 7s a lot more easily. So that's why trag's in here. And with a deck that pluses so much, trag is probably going to drop quite large. Then 2 Kage. This allows you to make some very interesting plays with gear frame, which I'll do a separate video on if you guys want. If you want that, comment, otherwise I'm not going to do it. But yeah, only 2 because it does clog a lot, because it can't be normal summoned itself, has to be special summoned. So yeah, tried it at 3, it was extremely cloggy. So 2 seems to work well enough because you can search it with King of Fire Limits anyway. And then for Final Monster, 1 Redox. Most gadget Redox decks use 2 because they like to capitalise on the reborn effect, but I run a trap which I'll get to later on, which kind of means I'm fine for reborns, if that makes sense. And what I normally do with this is I make the Volval Chain and just pitch it straight to the grave, so I can use it for rank 7 plays with my fortress. And that's basically all I do with Redox. But obviously it's not bad if you draw it. For spells, Dark Hole. So with the one staple we've got left. Triple Lance. This deck loves the fact that Bottomless and Deep Prison have both been hit. But because all the other back row have been hit as well, people are actually starting to use Deep Prison again. So Forbidden Lance is still very important. So still run 3. Also that gives your gadgets even more survivability against incoming attacks as well. So it puts even the weakest one up to 2k. Sort of relatively speaking. 2 MST. And then the 1 Mind Control. You play against any deck that runs level 4s or 7s or makes like level 7 synchros, and this is extremely potent. But even if you don't, then getting rid of a blocker or something is very good. Then for traps, Warning, Pulse, Bottomless, Double Mirror, Double Deep Prison. The 1 Sakuretsu, simply because we can't run 3-dimensional prison anymore, and I didn't feel like putting Torrential in, simply because you're often forced to play it and nuke one of your own gadgets, where if you have just more 1-for-1 removal, then you should be fine. Although the Torrential is still sided for spammy decks where 1-for-1 removal does nothing. So yeah. Too cool. This is why I feel comfortable with only the 1 Redox, because I have other ways of getting things back from the grave, This is great with gadgets if they've veiled it, or if you summon Redox and then you can call back Fortress if you don't have the machines in hand, and go into Dragosack or Big Eye or whatever else. There have been suggestions of using Pinpoint Guard. Pinpoint Guard is obviously much better for defensive purposes, because it's an OTK stopper and what have you, but I like the fact that Call can be used both defensively and offensively, sort of at any point I want, rather than waiting for my opponent to attack in order to get my extra gadget search or whatever else I need. And to finish off the deck, triple Phoenix Chain. No Veilers or anything, so you have to have the monster effect negation, and chaining up the one monster and preventing it from killing your gadget is also extremely important. So yeah, that's Phoenix Chain. On to the extra. 2 Gigant, you have to run at least 2 in my opinion. You make this with most of the monsters in your deck apart from Kage or Trag, and allows you to search for effectively anything you want. Like if you want to make another Xyz next turn, you search Goldfish. If you want to go into Machina plays, then search Gearframe. So yeah, extremely good, and a lot of people forget this can also dredge stuff up from the graveyard, so it's worth keeping in mind. Then a similar card, King of the Feral Imps. This is generic and is your searcher for Kage. Because you make 4 so easily. Violent Dice Sigma and Ouroboros for your 3 materials. Shockmaster getting banned did kind of hurt this deck, because this deck could potentially make it first turn and just lock your opponent out, but I do see why they banned it, so I'm not going to cry about it. For the 2 material ones, Abyss Dweller, Cowboy, Pap, Maestroke, Emerald, which is pretty important now because they banned Avarice, so this allows you to cycle back your gadgets and get some pluses going. Revival Chain, this card is pretty nuts. It just sends whatever you want to the grave and it's completely generic. So if you have a cannon or something in hand, you can send a Fortress, or if you have 2 Earths and a supporting play, you can send the Redox. So yeah, and then finally Diamond Direwolf, just for pops. It's technically a -1 to go into this and pop, but the monsters you use to make it will +1 anyway, while if you're making it with gadgets or Gearframe or whatever. So it kind of evens itself out, so you're not kind of losing advantage for making it. For the rank 7s, Dragosack, Big Eye, and Master of Blades. Big Eye and Dragosack have been lent out to the friend, which is why I'm proxying them. He's playing Dragon Rulers, so. But yeah, you can make Dragosack or Big Eye plays really quite easily in this deck, due to Fortress and Redox's spam ability. And obviously seeing things like Mind Control and Call just help that even more. If I had the room, I'd put a Gaia in here as well. I'm tempted to cut the Master of Blades for a Gaia, but I'm also just worried that it will just get big-eyed or deprisoned or something else, and this is a bit more survivable. So, yeah. And then I've got some tokens for it, for the Dragosack. Yeah, let me know what you guys think of this deck. Don't forget to leave me a thumbs up and subscribe if you like my videos and like my decks. And leave some comments if you do want to see some of the combo plays you can make with this deck. I'll do that in a separate video a bit later on. This deck's not really all that combo oriented, but there are some things you might have missed, so let me know. But for now, this has been Uzumaki 991, signing out.